Welcome to Induvo. To start learning, you'll launch our desktop app, and from the desktop app, you'll click on the Learn option. From here, you'll see a catalog of available lessons. You can also select your learning environment or classroom. Once you've selected your desired learning environment, you can click on the Learn button to launch VR and to start learning.
This is a brief tutorial of how we can train in virtual reality. And so, setting up my computer, I downloaded all of the peristernal long axis and peristernal short axis images from a specific case, including the 3D model. And I have them laid out here in the Cine clips here, and I've placed the still images behind the corresponding image. And I also have the artifact of the ultrasound probe that I can put in the space. You can also see how I have a 3D model, and I have this cut plane present that allows me to look through, coronal, axial, sagittal. If you're going to look through axial, you actually have to come around and look down into the heart in the correct plane. And so if you consider our purpose here in training pediatric echocardiography is to begin to build modules. So if I'm going to come in and train somebody, let's say the first thing I'm going to describe is I want to show them where they're going to place the ultrasound probe on the skin in an area that's going to give them the left ventricular outflow tract. So if I kind of cut the plane, you can see how we're able to generate this view here. So now, if I grab this image and overlay it, I should be able to replicate the image, which you can see here.
Welcome to Induvo. To start learning, you'll launch our desktop app, and from the desktop app, you'll click on the Learn option. From here, you'll see a catalog of available lessons. You can also select your learning environment or classroom. Once you've selected your desired learning environment, you can click on the Learn button to launch VR and to start learning.
What is a mass casualty incident? It's any situation where the number of sick or injured patients overwhelms the available resources. Medical resources in this situation are inadequate for the number and severity of injuries. Depending on available resources, that can be 5 victims, 50 victims, or even hundreds of victims. Mass casualty incidents are variable in cause. They can be anything from a natural disaster to an epidemic like Ebola or influenza, or a man-made incident such as a plane crash, a bus accident, or an industrial blast, or they can be an act of terrorism or war. Management of such an event requires rapid and accurate triage of patients as part of an organized response and good communication. To help organize this response, we have the 5 S's of mass casualty incident response, shown here. The first S is safety. First, you must assure that the scene is safe and that there's no ongoing threat. Always consider a chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, or explosive incident. We abbreviate this as CBRNE. In these types of incidents, special equipment may be needed before you can encounter the patients. Specialized PPE, personal protective equipment, may be needed. In military settings, MOP gear is commonly used, but there are civilian versions of the same protective gear. In any type of incident, bloodborne pathogen protection must be used. You have to avoid contaminating yourself or other responders. The goal is to avoid becoming victims yourselves.
Now let me show you how simple it is to create VR content in Induvo. You'll start by outlining your course with your learning objectives, speaker notes, task-based assessment questions, as well as a complete list of the 3D model plus all the 2D images and videos that you'll use to teach your course. Once you've completed your outline, you'll launch Induvo, click on Create, import your outline into Induvo on the Create page, adding your title, learning objectives, speaker notes, and assessment tasks. You'll then import your 3D model as well as 2D images and videos and click on the Create button. Once you click Create, you'll enter the Induvo classroom. You'll reposition and lay out your 3D object as well as your 2D images and videos in order to teach your class. You'll then record your lectures using the recorder board and set up all of your assessments. Once you're finished, you'll save your lesson and exit the classroom. And that's it. Congratulations, you've recorded your first class in Induvo.